Welcome back to Old War Stories with Uncle Jay. This one is entitled Rostislav. And yes, you must roll the R when you say that. Rostislav, I think his last name was Kamenetsky. He was Russian. He worked at the Wiz with me. This guy came out of nowhere. I was at the Wiz, which was in Carl Place, New York, which was east of where he lived. He lived somewhere in Queens County. I don't know where. Had an apartment there. Ross came in. He went by the name Ross. He came in and went for the most money that you could possibly make, which was selling cell phones. That was not my forte at the Wiz. I sold computers, and indeed I sold a lot of them. They were junk, because I mean, what did you have back in the day? This is 99, 2000, something like that. So it was HP, Compaq, maybe an IBM here or there, if they were even still around. It's mostly like HP and Compaq shit. I can't even remember if we had other brands. Those were the main ones that we carried. Oh, Sony was a big one in the day as well. You had to be pretty well off to afford one of those. Not that they were that much better, but whatever. You paying for the name. Ross went for the cell phones. Ross dominated the cell phones and basically would not let anyone else sell cell phones. Unless, of course, he was off that day, in which case he had no control over it. He was a shark, as they call it, in the business, in sales. Selling people what they don't need, overselling them, and trying to convince them that it's actually a good deal. Now, the prices were, for the most part, set as far as the service goes with the provider, which I think at the time was Verizon, which is what we were selling under. The phones, on the other hand, I don't remember how it all worked, because like I said, I really didn't sell any of those. But as time went on at the Wiz, we got bought out by Cablevision, which was our local cable company, now Altice USA. Cablevision bought the Wiz as a tax write-off. The Wiz was under its own management and was going to go bankrupt about 6 times. You'd see it in the paper. But somehow at the 11th hour, it didn't happen. And we were failing yet again and on the verge of bankruptcy. And Cablevision said, we'll buy the Wiz. And the point of that was not to continue the Wiz as it was, but rather to use it as a vehicle to sell their services. Customer would come in. Now, the Wiz was an electronics retailer, so we sold big screen TVs. Now, a lot of these were CRTs, but you had your rear projection TVs that, the big money spenders would come in for, and the home theater systems and audio, and we also sold computers and stuff like that. But the way it worked was they wanted us to start selling the Cablevision services. So a customer would come in and they'd say, I want that big screen TV. Okay, $46.99.99. I want a DVD player. I want a home theater system. I want all that. And they'd spend $10,000. As you are walking them to the register with the sheet that you would write up, you were supposed to say to the customer, by the way, Are you a Cablevision customer? You had Dish Network at the time, which is whatever satellite dish it is now, but satellite, that was around. Are you a Cablevision customer? But they had us say to them, by the way. That's not a by the way question. It's just not a by the way question. I swear. It was not a by the way question. So the idea was they would come in and spend 10 grand and then you'd sell them on how cable was better than satellite and sell them TV service to go with the TV. It was almost a joke. It really was. But as time went on, cable modems hit the scene. High-speed internet. No more dial-up. I'd sell somebody a computer. By the way, are you a Cablevision customer? We have Optimum Online, our high-speed internet service. Wouldn't you like to get that? To enjoy the best speed you can possibly get on the internet, download things faster than your friends, and all that happy horse shit that they tried to get people on back in the day, where nowadays it's basically a necessity. By the way, are you a Cablevision customer? And they went further. In the early days, the computer department was off to the side. It was like a separate storefront, and you could actually walk in from the outside there. But later on, they decided to consolidate and sell off or not release those 2 additional buildings or storefronts and just have the Wiz. Now, the reason why we couldn't do that from the get-go was because the Wiz was originally a basement store in this location. On top, you had the Great American Drugstore. That's what it was called. They were around back in the day, and that was at street level. When you would walk into the Wiz, you would go down an escalator or steps, and now you had the entire basement of the Great American Drugstore, and maybe the next store. I don't remember what it was, if that was even being leased at the time. I don't remember. It was a very large area, but we did not have the main floor. So when the Great American Drugstore went out, they said, we're taking that and getting rid of those 2 other places. So all the TVs, all that stuff was moved from the basement up to the main floor, and the computers and all the other stuff was put downstairs. Okay, that was a sound business venture. That required remodeling everything. Well, remodeling is, that's not done for free. So they had contractors come in, and we were under construction. There was plaster, drywall dust all the time. Screw guns. Yeah, yeah. So this is a great. Yeah, all the time. I'm sorry, we're doing construction. We're really sorry about that, and you just lived with it, and that was it. Back in the old days, you'd see a sign, closed for renovations. No more of that shit. They stay open now. Everybody's fucking money hungry. Anyways, Cablevision decided that now that we have the upstairs, and that's the only place now where people can come in, they would put one of us at the door. And at the door, they would come in, hi, how you doing? Welcome to the Wiz. Here is another great Wiz line. Ready? What brings you in today? What brings me in? Why, of course, it's that $46.99.99 TV that's on the front page of your ad. What else could it fucking be? What brings you in today? Goes, it's right up there with, are you a Cablevision? I mean, come on. Come on. How cheesy do you want to make this? They didn't want us to just say, can I help you? And I understood that. And it's a good practice not to say that if you're in sales. It really is. And if you tried that, some of the people at Tiny Middle say, can I help you? I'm beyond help. Those were the good customers. But anyways, getting back to the Wiz, you didn't really want to say, can I help you? You wanted to say, what can I help you with? Or are you looking for something in particular? Can I assist you in some way? Not, can I help you? And you find your own little nuance as you're in sales for a period of time like that. So it is a good practice not to say, can I help you? But anyway, they had us standing at the door. So, welcome to the Wiz. What brings you in today? Oh, well, I'm looking for that $46.99 TV. Are you a Cablevision customer? Well, I want to get the TV. Yeah, but I mean, what do you have? Do you have an antenna? Oh, I have Dish. Yeah, well, cable, I mean, we have HBO, and we have Showtime, and we have Cinemax, which I think is, I don't know if that's even around anymore, and the movie channel, and this and that, and you pay a lot more with Dish than you'll pay with cable. Yeah, sure. Sure you will. You ever look at your cable bill recently? Yeah. And then you got all the people today. We cut the cord. You know what I say to that? What I say to that is, well, in fact, I'll demonstrate just so you can get the idea, right? I'll turn on the TV. Now you gotta wait. It's a big screen. You gotta wait for it to boot up. I'm waiting. There it is. Look at that. It's showing stock market quotes on the news right now. That's what's going on. Now they're showing a beach. It's just, we're going to go to a commercial break and we're killing time. There you go. You see? So that's what I'm talking about. When I turn on my TV, I want TV. I don't want this, oh wait, oh my god, I forgot my Hulu password, I forgot my Netflix password, I forgot my whatever you people are using today. When I turn the TV on, I want a fucking picture. I want channels. The channels that I know. Channel 7, WABC. Watch this. 7. And you wait for the cable box, and there is Channel 7, which isn't coming in right now. That's odd. I don't know why that is. Spanish channel.
This is worth hundreds of dollars.
Fox.
And it's free to...
It's there. It's right there. That's what I want from TV. I want to be able to turn the TV on and there's fucking TV. So cutting this cord shit doesn't fly here. Getting rid of your home phone, I only use my cell phone, does not cut it. I'm sorry, it just doesn't cut it. But we're talking about the Rostislav and how much of a conniving bastard he was. So the Wiz would have us at the front door to immediately sell people cable TV service. Oh, no, I have cable already from Cablevision. Oh, yeah? Do you have high-speed internet? Because we have Optimum Online. You're interested? Really? Let me get you an associate to help you. At the Wiz, we worked on commission. So during this hour that you had to stand at the door, you made zero. And they paid $8 an hour. That was not a base rate. They only paid you your commission. It was a commission versus draw system. So the idea was you had to sell enough products to overcome your hourly rate. Now, during this hour, you were making that $8, and they were more than willing to pay $8 for you to stand at the door. But then you would hand off this Optimum Online sale to another associate who would make $20 in commission, and you would make nothing. So they had a list every morning, and after the morning SmackDown meeting, we had to all write our names on the list for the particular time that we were going to be at the front door. So I figured that I would put down 11 a.m. That seemed like a good time to me, and I did that. And I did that, and I was sort of just hanging around. And Ross showed up, and he went to put his name on the list. Do you know that that bastard crossed my name off and put his name and wrote me in for another time? And didn't tell me either. Or ask me, hey, would you mind? I'd like to go to lunch at 12, and it would be nice to, do the door and then just go to lunch and then come back and do the rest of my day. Nope. Just change me to 3 o'clock. Why? Because 11 o'clock was a dead time during the day. And as such, he wanted to be up there when it was dead, and he wasn't going to be making much money anyway, and he'd much rather be on the sales floor selling these fucking cell phones during the time when it's going to be a lot busier, so he could make even more money. So 11 o'clock, I come upstairs to stand by the door, and Ross is there. I said, my turn. He says, no, you are 3 o'clock. I said, no, I signed that list for 11 this morning. I crossed you off. I am here now. I said, what? Are you serious? What the fuck? Are you fucking serious? You crossed my name off? And I went to the manager. And the manager did nothing. He did nothing about it. And said, no, that's the time Ross wants to be there. He can be there. You'll have to pick another time. I said, I got to that list first and I put my name down there on that time slot. You can't cross anybody off. It is what it is. And they wanted nothing to do with it because money. What bullshit. What utter... I couldn't fucking believe that. That this guy had the fucking balls to even... there's a Yiddish term for that, chutzpah, to do that. I mean, for fuck's sake. Seriously, can you fucking believe that? Karma is a bitch. Now, this was accidental, or I don't know what the deal was, but anyway, it's another day somewhere, maybe a year down the line, I don't know. And Ross was supposed to be in, and he wasn't. It turns out his apartment went on fire. Karma is a bitch. Now, I didn't wish bad on him. I was just like, how could you... how do you do that? Anyways, his apartment caught fire. I don't know how, what, where, why, when, any of that stuff. Ross was out for like 2 weeks, and rightly so. Well, that was nice. I got my 11 o'clock time slot back. So let's think now, okay? What happens at your typical job when somebody goes through a disaster in their life, such as that, or their father died, their mother died, something like that? Um, a lot of times people will take up a collection, and that's where the phrase "I gave at the office" came from. Blah, blah, blah. So they would take up a collection, and they took up a collection. And they went to me and they said, "Hi, we have this card for Ross, and we're collecting money for him, whatever you want to throw in." I said, "I'm not even signing the card, thanks." And I went about my day. And that was that. Now, if you think about it, okay, somebody, whether it's a house or an apartment, you have a fire, the whole thing is burnt down, okay? There's nothing left. You get out safe, that's the ultimate prize. You're left with the clothes on your back, and that's all you got. If you had cash in the house, the apartment, that's burned up. It's gone. That money's gone. Now, you have money in the bank, might be negative $2.74. Yes, I've seen that. The whiff went to the bank recently, to the ATM, and somebody left their receipt there, and their balance was negative $2.47. No shit. They had overdrawn their account. And the bank recently has lifted their overdraft fees. So they can now just get away with that shit. But could you, I mean, there's people out there that are paycheck to paycheck, but negative $2.74? You needed the avocado toast that bad? You needed your Starbucks that bad? Anyways, there's money in the bank, okay, for a normal person. And yeah, I mean, we can probably safely say that with the amount of bastardism that this guy was, that's not the right term, but anyways, with the amount of sales that he cheated people on, he had some money in the bank. But everything is gone. Okay, now, insurance. Now, whether he had renter's insurance or not, I don't know. But money is coming out of the bank account. You got to buy clothes. You got to buy food. You got to find another place to live now. You don't have time to look for a good place at a good price. You settle for what you can get. And it doesn't matter what it costs, provided you can afford it. It's just for now until the house is rebuilt, the apartment is redone, whatever it is. So you have a big expenditure coming. Again, insurance, yes, but there's still going to be a lot of nickel and diming that you're going to be paying out of pocket that you're never going to see back. A week or two goes by, and Ross comes back. "Oh, Ross, we're so sorry, blah, blah, blah. Here, we got your card, and we took up a collection for you." The next day, Ross came in with a cake. Quite honestly, if that happened to me, I wouldn't have money to spend on a cake. It was nice that people wanted to donate to this bastard as it was and give him money, and it's just what's done. I was young, and I get, honestly, if I were me now working at the Wiz and this happened, I still wouldn't give him a fucking dime because of how much of a bastard he was. Um, but he came in with a cake to thank everybody for what they've done. Now, sure, he could have paid for the cake out of the winnings, out of the collection. So I understand it's not money out of pocket because the collection was more or less like found money, but you're going to be spending well in excess of whatever pittance they could come up with for this collection. I mean, like seriously, I understand the gesture. I get it. I had a piece of cake. I did. But even so, I would not do that because I don't have anything to give. I would just give my undivided thank you, a very heartfelt thank you. If somebody does something for me and I really appreciate it, I am willing to pay for their act of kindness. I don't know when anything is happening with this, but I had a video some time back about the Olympia Info Globe, and Michael Gegno, now Rolling TARDIS, go subscribe, by the way, it's free, said, let me have a look at it. So I shipped it to him. Now he's going to use his time, and he's going to spend money on parts and that, and if it's fixed, it's getting shipped back. What am I going to say? Thank you? Of course I'm going to say thank you. But I'm going to offer money because I'm willing to pay for the time and effort and parts that were put into this. If he says no, then he says no, and that's even more of a big thank you. But if he says yes, then I will pay. It's that simple. I get it, but when you don't have the money to spend, how do you spend it? That's the whole thing. So Ross was a royal bastard. The Wiz was corrupt. Like I said, Cablevision used them as a vehicle because it was it was a tax write-off because then the Wiz went bankrupt. They went out of business. Sorry about that, and for the sudden change in color temperature. Battery cut out on me, but like I was saying, this was a tax write-off for Cablevision. The Wiz went bankrupt after all, and they closed up and wrote it off as a loss, and that was that. And then they were bought out by Altice, and now it's a lot worse than it ever was. So, yeah, that was it. What a bastard. I don't know whatever happened to him. I don't care. I didn't search him, although you never know what might pop up. I don't know how old he is now. He wasn't young then, but he wasn't old then, so he's a lot older now. That was 22 years ago at least. So, that was that. What a I mean, to cross my name off and write his in instead? And get away with it. Motherfucker. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.